What is up, everyone on YouTube? It's your boy, the Memphis XL, coming at you with a deck profile for Skull Servants Rumble. For our monster lineup, we are playing 3 Scully Boys, 3 Little Ladies, 3 Older Ladies, 2 Gentlemanly Fellas, 3 Dog Walkers, 3 Modern Day Elvis, 2 Horse with Axe, 3 The Ultimate Duo, and 1 Little Ghostly Girl. For our spell lineup, we have 2 Samurai Cutting cards, 1 guy digging himself out of a hole, 1 Ankh, a flower coming out of a red dude, 3 copies of the guy pointing at a man in a graveyard, 2 cups of ramen, 1 guy throwing away all of his pack fillers, a really nasty looking place, 3 super duper polys, and as for traps, we've got ourselves 2 copies of Cyber Dragon Infinity in trap form. For our extra deck lineup, we have 1 guy with eyes. We've got 2 Draco Necro Steal Your Soul Dragons. We got ourselves 1 copy of Squid in a Ship. And we've got ourselves a copy of Triple-Headed Trishula, but for fusions. For our links, we've got ourselves a couple of Link Karibo, my boys. A prostitute. We got ourselves Yu-Gi-Oh! Batman, a horse, girl on rollerblades, a ghost trick guy without a head. We've got the infamous Psy-Frame Lord on a skateboard, 1 big beefy boy, as well as a samurai with no defense. The side deck we'll go over in a moment. So as you can tell, this is a pretty standard Skull Servant sort of deck where we're trying to get all of our Skull Servants into the graveyard to boost the attack of our king to ludicrous attack numbers. We have many ways of doing this. Predominantly, we have things like Unizombie, which effect allows us to target a monster, discard a card, increase its level, or send a zombie from deck to graveyard to do such as well. This is very useful because we have lots of monsters we are fine with discarding, and monsters we like to send straight from the deck. So one of the better targets we have is White Prince, his effect being that when he is sent from anywhere, your hand, your deck, your field, to the grave, sends Skull Servant and the Lady in White to the graveyard. This is very good for setting up our king, because it gives us an immediate 3,000 attack. All of our boys count as Skull Servant in the graveyard, so we can get up to what? 3, 6, 9, 12. That's 14,000 possible attack. Just off those. If you add the kings, that's 16,000 if you only have 1 king. So that's pretty high attack. Let me tell you something about that. So another nice thing about this prince, I can banish him along with 2 other Skull Servants, bring out a king straight from the deck. Nice little thing. Costs you attack, but late game, if you have enough Skull Servants, it really won't matter. As well as doing that, Unizombie's a nice little tuner. And if you get him to level 5 with our lady, we can summon out one of our beefy Synchro boys. Shogun Saga, I can banish a zombie to give him a nice attack boost. Not too many targets, but if you have Zombie World, you can banish like Dragon, or the Draco Berserker. That's pretty nice. As well as our White Prince, another one of our most important cards is White Princess, our little lady here. When she is summoned by whatever means, normal or special, you send White Prince, and that activates White Prince's effect. So basically, it's a pretty standard thing. And also has a very nice effect where I can send it from hand or field to reduce the attack of all my opponent's monsters by 300 times their level or rank. Doesn't do anything against Link monsters, but it works against everything else. So it's a pretty nice little tech card. Our Lady in White here, don't often get her on the board, but when you do, she protects your king and all the other level 3 or lower zombies from spell traps. They're unaffected by all spell traps, and they can't be destroyed in battle. It doesn't work on the lady, unfortunately. If it did, it'd be so much nicer, but sad to say, it doesn't work that way. As well as for White Mare, basically White Mare is a bit of a recovery. You can discard him to take one of your removed from play boys, being the Skull Servant, the Lady in White, and I can either put it back in the grave or special summon them. I can also special summon back the king if he is banished. So, he's a nice little deck card. Mizuki's pretty basic zombie support. Just banish him, bring back a zombie from your grave. And Banshee here is predominantly here just to get the Zombie World field spell on board. Basically allows us to do things with super polymerization, fuse with our opponent's monsters, to make Draco Necro Nether Soul Dragon, which is a nice little zombie tech. who cannot destroy monsters in battle, but when he does battle an opponent's monster, that monster's attack becomes 0, and you get a token whose stats are equal to the stats the monster it battled lost. So it's a really nice for just getting over big, nasty monsters, and then, you get this nice stinky token that you can ram into them. So, that and the fact that you're just super polying your opponent, which is a nice bit of removal. And of course, Instant Fusion is good for 2 things, getting out Thousand Eyes for a quick bit of removal, and Theseus for more level 8 synchro action, especially if you've got Lady in White or White Princess on the board. Other than that, we have things like Hand Destruction and Card Destruction. Basically, if you have a handful of monsters, you use these cards to send these to the grave, get yourself other combo pieces. You're putting things in the graveyard that you want in the graveyard, so it all works out. Call by the Grave stops the Ash Blossoms and the like from stopping you searching, and just a little bit of impermanence for here and there, that sort of deal. Otherwise, in terms of extra deck potential, of course, Predaplant, Triplefleritum, or whatever the heck your name is, it's just there in case our opponent has a bunch of dark monsters. We have dark monsters as well, but it's mostly in case your opponent's playing like something with like rockets or something. Linkuriboh, pretty basic tech choice because we have a lot of level 1 monsters, and by a lot of them I mean Skull Servant, White Prince especially, and the King. Vampire Sucker is a nice little link too. Basically, if you revive one of your zombies or something, you get to draw a card. Savior here lets us send a monster from our deck to the grave when it battles to weaken an opponent's monster. Honestly, the best target for that is Mizuki in this deck or our Banshee. Won't reduce by much. The main idea of this is you're battling to send a White Prince. And of course, we got Masquerena Troymare. Masquerena lets us link during our opponent's turn, and Nightmare Unicorn bounces a card. And Dullahan here is just a nice bit of Exceed support. As he battles an opponent's monster, you get to halve the attack of an opponent's monster by attaching a material. So it's pretty good. And of course, we've got Omega here, where during my opponent's standby phase, I can get back a banished card. And during either player's main phase, I can bounce him, I banish him, and then I banish an opponent's card for a turn. Draco Berserker is just here to beat things over and negate monster effects. So, he's pretty nice tech too. Everything in this deck is all about sending all these cards to the grave, getting the king out, making him huge, doing some other cheeky combos. It works pretty good. As, of course, we got our side deck I'll go over real quick. Boral Sword, or just any Link 4, really, just in case you get all the swarming and all that's working just fine for you. Mathematician's good for just dumping a level 4 lower monster. Again, White Prince or Banshee. Warrior of Thou is a nice little thing if you have a level 1 monster to add another level 1 monster. But you don't use it too often, so it's a side deck thing at best. If you want to make this deck more combo heavy, I would recommend getting rid of White Mare for Mr. Ballardrock here. Pretty standard zombie card. I just didn't want to play it in this deck because I've seen enough of Ballardrock and his negating and vanishing to last me a lifetime. Optic Camouflage Armor is a nice little equip spell, which you can equip to a level 1 monster, which the King is, and then it can attack directly. Need I say more? Burial here lets us get back 3 of our banished cards, i.e. the White Prince. If you were going to not play Super Poly and all that, I would recommend a copy or 2 of this. Another Impermanence if you feel like it, more Twin Twisters if you're up against battle traps and the like, more Zombie World in case you need more Banshees. Leerloose, why are you in here, Leerloose? I don't remember putting you in here. But yeah, we also have another White Mare in case you feel like 16,000 is not big enough. So yeah, there is our deck profile here for Skull Servants Rumble. Hope you guys like it. I'll leave a link in the description to a separate video where I'll be tooling with this deck against random opponents on YGO Pro. Give it a check if you feel like it. But otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed. Smash like if you like Skull Servants. And y'all take care now. Your boy Memphis signing off. Till next time.